All right, everybody. Welcome back to the series. We are on episode 5, and I have no idea what I'm doing this episode as usual. I have to admit, I really do just make this up as I go a little bit. The last episode, we got this system. Well, it's not a system. We got this room done. That's what we'll call it for now. We got the storage cellar done. A lot of chests in here. It's pretty tight, and signs are gonna be... Well, signs might be a little difficult, but I think I'll be able to make something work here. We also have a little extra miscellaneous storage here in the corners. So if we have items that it's just like, I don't know what to do with this, I'll just throw it in there. For now. Eventually I'll figure out some system for organization in a bigger, a bigger room. But this will do for now as like a bit of a starting area. So, yeah, and I could probably do a little more in here, but interior decorating, not my forte, and I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. We just don't have a lot of stuff to work with at the moment. But I think I might start trying to prep this land. I know it's a bit soon, but I just want to do something kind of somewhat mindless. I don't want to have to worry too much about getting attacked or anything like that. So just have a bed on me. Get this place flattened out a little bit, For starters, I should probably start by filling this in, huh? Flattening out this land over here. I think I'd like to take this layer down a bit here, or at least to take it back here, but this layer here all the way over near the house, I just want to kind of get rid of it, and that top layer too, of course. So I think that's where I'll start. I think I've got a decent bit of iron here. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff right there. That's a good amount. And today's episode will be a bit shorter. I'm not feeling as well today as I normally am, so yeah. We'll go ahead and be taking this stuff down a notch. Let's go get the dirt as well. Yeah, some dirt there. Perfect. And then do I have a crafting table somewhere? Probably not. I have that one there, but I have another one. Maybe I have one outside. Oh, farm's doing pretty good. We have to take care of that real quick. But first, get rid of our oddball planks here and then use up 2 more. Perfect. I don't need those arrows right now. I have a spot form in here. Nope. Yes, I do. Nice. Right there. How's the armor? Armor's doing good. Okay, we got our pumpkin pies. Yeah, y'all are good boys, alright? Y'all are good dogs. And yeah, we still haven't named them because we still haven't gotten name tags. So once we find some of those, wait. I am not crazy, right? I don't think I have name tags. No, I don't. Shame though, be really helpful. And I could name them and not forget. Of course, I can always look back at my footage. Yeah, but the plan here, the reason why, actually, I'll start with the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to get this land prepped for when I start building my village out here. Now, unfortunately, if we go into FreeCam here and we take a look at the land here, this spot right here, where I have my house, would be the perfect spot for a castle. We like tear down this hill right here, have like the cliffside, maybe even cut back a little bit back here, maybe like right there, and then just kind of slowly curve down. I think that would be really cool. And then, you know, build a castle from there. Yes, I know castles. Everybody loves building castles in Minecraft. Well, I do. I've loved doing it since I've been playing, since the game came out. But I've never really, I've loved the idea of it. Let me say that. I've loved the idea of it, but never really put words to action when it came to that. I always eventually was just like, no, it's too big of a project and I don't feel like doing that right now. And then I never felt like doing it ever. So I figure, why not do it now? Maybe I can build something pretty cool or get some suggestions from you all. That would be sweet too. I'm not a builder, but I can replicate pretty well. I follow instructions pretty well, so you know, you can always learn from other builders, or some of you even, if you guys, some of you have designs or something, screenshots you want to screenshots you want to email me or something. Email, or you can figure out a chat. I'm not sure yet about any of that. But that's assuming that people actually want to send those things, so. But for now, I can go with pictures online and kind of base some of my builds off of that. The one thing I've always had troubles with, though, is proportions for builds. That's always been a bit of a tricky thing for me, and I don't know why. At least in the past, and it's been a while since I've tried to do any large builds. Usually when I played Minecraft, it's been with friends, and we just kind of, we just play it. We don't really like try to do any cool projects or anything like that, unless it's really useful to us. So, and let's see if we can't get some of this built up here. All right. Yeah, already looking better. Just a bit cleaner right there. And then we even have a guideline right here, which I wasn't expecting, so. And I got plenty of copper in the bank. I might use some of that for copper shovels. I know, not as fast as iron, but just good to use up the copper because it's not really useful for anything else but building, and I don't have a lot of other materials that I think go with copper. At least not yet. Oops. There we go. Just leave them up there for now, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to eventually, I want to build buildings with purpose, storage purposes. I've always liked that idea. It was something I saw Whip do, and I was like, you know, that's a pretty cool idea. I think that's something to do, because you know, when you build these buildings, sometimes like I'm very much a systematic and utility kind of person. So if I'm like, why am I building this build? Oh, because why not? I'm bored. That's not a good enough reason for me, and I'll find something else to do. But if it's like, oh, there's a purpose behind this building. So for example, building a stonemasons, you know, using the stone cutter and making that a little shop, but also a full-on building where I have a processing plant for, or a processing area for concrete and other things like that. I just think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Wow, already gone through this shovel too. Goodness, I got one more. Oops. Oh, does crouching work now? Nope. Darn. They gotta fix that. Oh well. Let's see, does this go down to my, it kind of does. That's pretty cool. See, like, if I opened this up a little bit more back here, this would be a really cool, you know, port area that you would put underneath the castle. Or behind it, at least. Kind of reminds me of Castle Volkire, I think is how you say it. It's in Skyrim. In the Dawnguard questline. The castle in that, if you ever, like, you should just, you guys ever play that game, venture around in Castle Volkire. You know, become the vampire lord or whatever you gotta do, and just venture around in there and around the whole entire estate until you've found everything. It's a cool place. The garden's cool. The port entry in the back is cool. I mean, yeah, it's just a really neat, well-designed building. They don't make video games like that anymore, man. Speaking of new video games, like making them these days, Assassin's Creed Resynced. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I actually have been an Assassin's Creed fan since, let's say, since number 1. Though I was very young when it came out, so I didn't get, like, you know, I wasn't there on release, or not like there. I wasn't, you know, waiting and being like, oh, it's going to release soon. You know, I wasn't aware of it during its release time. because I was just a little too young to play those games. But a couple years later, a buddy of mine showed me the series, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I started playing them, at his place, and then I just, I played through. He showed me Assassin's Creed 1. I got familiar with it a little bit. And then I actually ended up getting to play Assassin's Creed 2 at his place. And that, I was hooked on the series at that point. I was like, oh, this is a great story. Gameplay's really fun, and my speed. And yeah, and then he got Assassin's Creed 3, and I'd play with him, and I eventually got it myself. I think for Christmas, which was an awesome time to play that, actually, because it didn't take too long to reach Christmas time or the winter time in that game. And so, once playing it on your winter break as a kid that was a lot of fun. I was probably a little too young to be playing some of those games, not gonna lie, but I don't know, I turned out all right. That's the thing with letting certain age groups, certain age kids play games that are rated M or even rated T and stuff. It's like you gotta judge it based off of the kid, right? Does the kid understand that it's it's just a game, it's not reality, and and that the things you do in the games are not necessarily something you would ever, or not ever usually something you would do in real life. Do they have a grasp on that? How mature is the kid, essentially, is the question. And if you've got a good answer there, then test it out and see. But you really have to, I'm not telling anybody how to parent or anything like that. That's not my call. I'm not a parent or anything. But I was a kid, and there's some games I wished I hadn't been exposed to, but most games, it was fine. I used to be a Call of Duty kid. I used to be one of those, as they were called back then, squeakers on a microphone. I used to be one of them, and yeah, no, not a great. Oops. Oh, there we go. Not a great thing. Just, but also it was somewhat because all my friends were playing it, so I was like, oh, it's a cool game. It's cool to play this game, so I'm gonna play it. But the thing was that back then I was too worried about what was cool versus what was me. What I liked to play. And I got introduced to Minecraft, and for the longest time, I was like, I would never tell anybody that I played it or liked playing it. I would just hide that part away. And there was even a time where I just didn't play it at all. I think I'm gonna revisit this. I have another entrance over there. So when I start doing more port entry stuff and whatnot, then I'll look into doing it. But for now, I'm gonna just fill this up, and I'm gonna fill this completely this time around because it's not too much. So, oh, that's a nice sunset. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I realized I wasn't as much of a competitive gamer. It just wasn't my scene. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it sometimes, but most of the time I just I didn't want to play that. I like cooperative play. I think that there's a lot to be said about being able to work together with people to achieve something together. That's a lot harder than competing, because it involves cooperation and compromise, and there's a lot to be said in those kind of values. Figuring out how to work with people, that's an important skill, and so that's why I enjoy cooperative gameplay more. And even in board games, I don't like playing board games that are as competitive or, you know, head to head as much. Don't get me wrong, I'll play them and I do have fun with them. But I have to, sometimes if I'm not in the mood for that, I'm not in the mood for it and it ain't happening. Like, if I'm just keeping it real. So. But that's just say that's nothing against people who like to play those games. It's, you know, if it's fun to you, it's fun to you as long as it's healthy. That's all I'll say. Is like, you know, just be careful you're not like overdoing it yourself, and you know, otherwise you should be fine. All right. We've got a lot of copper. Let's use it up. So first things first, this wall, I think is going to be, this wall is going to be tools and armors. Tools, weapons, and armor. Just, I got to do it. Man, I got too many axes. Actually, I'll keep one extra on me. Yeah, I got too much in my inventory, so I got to watch it. I'm going to keep hold of the iron and save it for armor later. Because this stuff will inevitably break. So. Grab that, and we'll grab, yeah, as many as I can, actually. Perfect. So yeah, right now we're just terraforming, getting this area cleaned up for and prepared for a little bit of a future project. And I figure I'd just talk a little bit too, because I'm so busy talking about the game, which I'm sure everybody loves, but y'all don't really know me much at all. As far as like beliefs and politics and things like that, I'm not going to get into that on the channel. The idea of this channel is to kind of get away from politics specifically. As far as beliefs, you know, I'm willing to talk about that. My beliefs would, you know, I am a Christian and I'm not, you know, afraid to say that. That's what I believe and stuff. I'm not here to really debate the beliefs and like why I believe what I believe. Just kind of know that I do, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and judge every single one of your comments or something and wag my finger at something. You know, I'm not like that. It's just, that's not my job here, and that's not what I'm going for here. And just to be clear, what I'm saying here is that this is not a theology channel. Not that I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's just that that's not what this channel is specifically aiming towards. But I understand if it would concern some individuals. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, this is a gaming channel, and it is a gaming channel that, you know, it is going to be run based off of, you know, my morals and whatnot and what I believe in the Bible. But, and I mean, that also, that I will say, take that with a grain of salt too. Like, that doesn't mean like I'm going to be playing kids games all the time and stuff, but I have thought about potentially doing like a channel that's a bit more adult focused in the gaming realm. So playing games that maybe are a little more violent. For example, Assassin's Creed actually is one of those games where I'd say it's a violent game, and there are things that are said in there that not everybody is okay with their kids watching. And so it would be a channel that, you know, mom and dad would turn on when they want to watch a game, like a type of game or something, or a playthrough. But, you know, the kids are asleep or not home or something, or Or maybe you're at work and you just want something in the background. Or you're working from home. You know, you get the idea. So, but this channel, Vast Lands specifically, is going to be, I'm going to be trying to have more friendly stuff in here. Valheim, you could debate, is not as friendly, but the thing is that it's a very cartoony, I would say very cartoony or outlandish kind of thing. It's not that scary or bad. There's some blood in it, but it's not like extremely detailed or anything. It kind of looks more like strawberry jam, I'm not gonna lie. So, or like cherry pie filling, like that's what it, and it's very, very pixelated, and it's, you know, and it's not that much either. It's more just like, it looks like paint, maybe like red paint. So, not that I'm justifying, it's just, you know, it's not as bad as Assassin's Creed and, or, oh shoot, even Skyrim actually would be one of those other games where it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't let kids play this. That was another game I played pretty young too. I played it when it came out in 2011, and it was like, oh man, can't believe I'm playing this. So, yeah. But let's get back to the project here. We can get back to talking other video games eventually, but here, okay, yeah, we got some of the, oh, we have some more cave down here. I didn't realize we had so much cave down here. What's this? Oh, cool. Oops. Wait, can I still? No. Okay, good. It's not collision. Good. I want to make sure I wasn't able to X-ray through walls and stuff. Huh. Well. Oh, we've got andesite, gravel, granite. Dude, tell me we have some other stones. No, but we got some. Oh, yeah, look at that. A whole bunch of different types of stones. This would be a great. I just blow the top off of this thing right here and like create like a crane system. Well, it would be all for, you know, decoration, but that would actually be really cool. Heck, we don't even need to do that. We just do it right here in this spot. Dig this out. Yeah, we might be able to do something with that. It would be a really cool quarry. Yeah, it'd be a cool little quarry. Kind of thing. Although quarries are usually a little bit bigger than this, but that's fine. That's Minecraft. All right, we definitely have to figure out this spot here. I'm not gonna fill that all in. That would be a huge use of torches. Speaking of, I probably, well, I can make those later, but I do need to make sure that I'm, you know, oh wait, yeah, maybe I'll cut this layer back a little bit. So let's start here. There we go. We'll cut the rest of this here. Mostly don't want them in my inventory, to be honest. All right. Let's start it here. And we'll kind of cut this way. And then we'll kind of bring it around. Oops. Guess I was layer off. That's fine. I can raise this up one. Great. And then we can do like a kind of a retaining wall kind of thing in front of this. Kind of hide that mess. I think that would be pretty slick. So, yeah, we're already at half an hour, but I'm surprised. Yeah, and then I think, yeah, from out here, that'll be pretty good. And then how far out should we go from this second layer? So I think the furthest point is, yeah, right here. Yeah. So from here we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 10 blocks out? Let's see how that looks. And then we'll want to make sure to kind of slowly go around here. So I think I'm going to go get some cobblestone and kind of outline how far out this downward slope will be, like what the top line will be. It's going to be kind of large from what I recall. Oops, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button too. Let's try that. Yeah, I'll grab another stack. Or two. So yeah, we have the edge there. And then I'll even put the temporary, I do have my bed, good. Put the retaining wall right here as well. Ouch. Nice job. figure, why don't I just do it this way? How does that look? Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be there, though I think I am going to extend it right over here to these last two. Just to kind of make it look like it's a little more embedded into the, it's actually a more like from the wall and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, see, then it looks like it's behind it and actually, yeah. Cool. Oops, wrong button. There we go. All right, now for the actual outline portion. So I think actually it would be really cool to start it with the retaining wall. I actually think this is a pretty good starting point. And it doesn't have to all be level or anything. Just a little. I actually would prefer it be a little uneven. Let's see how we're looking. Not bad. Yeah, and then I'd say actually we just cut a one more block there, and then another layer this way, and then we start. No, actually, based off of where this is, we actually maybe want to start cutting in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, so cut out here and then in. And just kind of wrap right around the corner here and then kind of go in like that. Yep, I think that's the way to go. And then we'll start over here. Just gonna get a, yeah. As I said before, it really does not need to be perfect. Just good enough line. And then we just go in. Great. Yeah. It'll just kind of cut in like that, and we'll kind of divot it out, essentially. Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, this episode is just a little bit more of a chill one. As I said before, I'm just not feeling all that great, so wanted to get an episode out, but I wanted to do something, and I figured getting started on some future projects is not the worst way to do it. So, nice. Cut that out. There we go. Not out of the video, just get rid of it so that I have my stone back. A little extra dirt never hurt anybody. I'm totally running out, as you can see. Let's see. So, 10 out from there, and then we go all the way back here to the furthest recess of the grass. Recess? I don't even know what you call it. Yeah, we're gonna do that here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Then kind of middle of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Then we just kind of just connect them up. Okay, we need a little bit more of a curve there. How's that looking? Little diagonal in shape. So we'll just add a little more oomph there. How's that looking? Oh, it's like super diagonal now. Nice. Cool. I'll just add a couple blocks there. Then we'll kind of go 3 there, 2. And two, 3, why not? 1, 2. Great. Now. Yeah, all right. Though it feels a little small. I think I'm gonna go out another 10, to be honest. Yeah, and this is not going to be done this episode. Definitely not. This is just going to be one of those things where I kind of revisit it as something to do if I ever start doing streams, which I'm not. I'm still not 100% on. You know, I can. Which I'm not. Sorry, I totally spaced out there. I'm not 100% on about streams, right? But this is just something I can revisit whenever, like, I'm not feeling well or I need to get an episode out, but, you know, I need to do something. I need to do something on the world. Better that I have something to work on that's, you know, big, and just over time, it'll come around, you know? So then I think I'll cut it off here for now. Let's see, I have a shape here. Yeah, I've got a bit of a shape. Yeah, nice. And eventually I'll spread out all over here, but you know, that's just, it's going to take a while. So I'm just kind of starting with this chunk to this chunk and just kind of going that way. And we'll just do little bits at a time. Nothing too wild. So then what I'll do is just kind of take, this is going to be nuts, man. This is going to be huge. Like, I won't lie, but yeah, we'll take this guy and then go down one and just go out on, oh, I should probably eat up. Yeah, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. There we go. And then I'll just keep going, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. The other thing too is, like, I'll have to get supplies for torches and whatnot. So it's better that I do little chunks at a time so I can light up the areas underneath these massive things, because we're gonna have monsters spawn under there if we don't light up well. And yeah, I'm looking at you. Good Times with Scar. If you guys don't know, Good Times with Scar is a huge Minecraft YouTuber, and he is notorious for not lighting things up. It's just one of those things I remember that I thought was hilarious, because it always comes back to bite him and everyone else on the server on Hermitcraft. So, all right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. Great. Should probably sleep, huh? All right, let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I figure I'll just do this all the way, probably to the beach. Is that a river? It looks like part of one that never got fully developed because of this humongous cave. Ravine, even. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, someday I'll have to do a Mines of Moria build. Probably not, but something like it. Some sort of underground build. I've got so many massive caves over here. It's like, I should do something with them. So. Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, yeah, this is how I'm going about terraforming this. Just kind of a slow project, slow burning project. But I mean, if anybody has any ideas or anything on how to make it better or anything like that, like I'm open to ideas and stuff. Please leave comments. I do have Lightmatica, which I'll use for builds, but not necessarily terraforming. I feel like that would be a bit of a chunky file that I really wouldn't want. I feel like this is one of those things that I'd like to do a little more organically. But as far as tactics about how to go about this, or is my attempt at doing bite-sized chunks of this project, a good way to go about it. So yeah. But in the meantime, this has been fun. I hope y'all had a good time. Of me just kind of rambling on and digging out, digging trenches, so to speak. But I intend to make this area really cool, over time, of course, but definitely want to do that. And I am pretty ambitious when it comes to my projects, but I have been learning how to kind of curb stomp those ambitions. So yeah, until next time, see you later. And Fred and George, somewhere in there, say goodbye as well. See you.